Everyone knows Bugsy Siegel built Las Vegas, except he didn't. While mobsters got the headlines, there were architects drawing blueprints for billion-dollar dreams, a reclusive investor who built the world's largest hotel 3 times, and a woman who opened the Strip's first casino 15 years before the Flamingo even existed. These are the real architects of Las Vegas, the ones Hollywood forgot. This is their story. 1931. Nevada legalizes gambling. Everyone's watching downtown Las Vegas, but a woman named Alice Morris is looking at empty desert. She opens the Red Rooster on Las Vegas Boulevard, the first licensed casino on what would become the Strip, 15 years before Bugsy Siegel ever touched the Flamingo. That land Alice pioneered, today it's the Mirage. Steve Wynn built a volcano there, made millions. But Alice was first. History forgot her because she didn't get murdered. She didn't have mob connections. She just opened a casino and proved people would drive into the desert if you gave them a reason. Every neon palace that followed walked the trail Alice blazed. But the real architects weren't building casinos. They were building empires. Meyer Lansky, Sam Giancana, the Chicago outfit. These were the money men who understood something revolutionary. You don't need to own a casino. You just need to control the count room. Bugsy got credit for the Flamingo, but who funded it? Lansky and his associates, $6 million in mob money. And when Bugsy went over budget and started skimming, they put a bullet in his head. June 20th, 1947. The Nevada Gaming Control Board banned them with the Black Book, but by then they'd already built the system, the skim, the hidden networks, cash disappearing before it ever got counted. Between 1947 and 1979, mob-controlled casinos skimmed tens of millions. These men weren't building hotels. They were building invisible empires, and were still untangling which properties they truly controlled. While mobsters built financial empires, one man was literally building Vegas, drawing the blueprints, creating the template every casino would follow. Martin Stern Jr. Before Stern, Vegas casinos were low-slung motels with gambling floors. The Sands, the Desert Inn, they sprawled across the desert, never more than a few stories tall. Stern looked at that model and asked, why? 1969, he designed the International Hotel, 29 stories, 1,500 rooms, the largest hotel in the world. Not a motel with a casino, a vertical resort, a self-contained city. This changed everything. Stern pioneered the Y-shaped tower design. He integrated casino, showroom, restaurants, and hotel into one experience. He understood that in the desert, you keep people inside your property. Then came the MGM Grand in 1973. Again, the world's largest hotel. Again, Stern's design. Every modern mega resort, the Venetian, Wynn, Aria, they're all descendants of Stern's vision. But you won't find his name in lights. Just an architect, changing an entire city one blueprint at a time. If Stern designed them, Kerkorian paid for them. Armenian-American, high school dropout, one of the richest men in America. 1969, built the International, world's largest hotel. 1973, built the original MGM Grand, world's largest hotel. 1993, built the new MGM Grand. 5,000 rooms, world's largest hotel, 3 times. Kerkorian built the world's largest hotel 3 times. But here's what made Kerkorian different. He wanted nothing to do with the mob. When he bought land that would become Caesar's, he sold it to avoid underworld connections. He brought Wall Street money to Vegas, not mob money. He was reclusive, hated publicity, never gave interviews. But his buildings proved you could build bigger than the mob, cleaner than the mob, and make more money than they ever dreamed. He died in 2015 worth $4 billion, having transformed Vegas multiple times over. August 5th, 1966. Caesar's Palace opened, not Caesar's. Caesar's, as in every guest is a Caesar. This wasn't just a casino. This was ancient Rome in the Nevada desert. Marble columns, toga-clad waitresses, imperial grandeur. The architect was Melvin Grossman. The visionary was J. Sarno. Grossman designed the neoclassical architecture. Sarno understood something revolutionary. People don't want to gamble in a casino. They want to gamble in ancient Rome. They want the fantasy. Where'd Sarno get the money? The Teamsters Pension Fund, mob financing. But Caesars was too successful to shut down. Sarno built Circus Circus next, the first family-friendly casino. Acrobats performing above the floor. He pioneered the all-ages model that led to 1990's Family Vegas. He died broke in 1984, but walk into any themed resort today. The Venetian, Paris, New York, New York. You're walking through Sarno's dream. November 1966, a train pulled into Vegas carrying the richest man in America. Howard Hughes, paranoid and deteriorating, checked into the Desert Inn penthouse and refused to leave. The casino wanted him out, so Hughes did something unexpected. He bought the Desert Inn, just to avoid moving. Then he kept buying. The Sands, the Frontier, the Landmark. One by one, Hughes acquired mob properties, hundreds of millions in cash. Where there had been mobsters skimming, there were now accountants filing quarterly reports. Federal investigators loved it. Hughes sterilized Vegas, stripped away underworld control, made it corporate, made it legitimate. The mob bosses who'd built Vegas got pushed out by a billionaire buying their casinos like real estate. After Hughes, Vegas belonged to corporations, not criminals. To Wall Street, not the outfit. The era of mob control ended not with FBI raids, but with one eccentric billionaire's checkbook. While mega resorts dominated the Strip, two men bet on different dreams. Bob Stupak built Vegas World in 1979, a space-themed casino downtown with vacation packages and hustle. He built it with his own money. No mob, no corporations, just Stupak's audacity. Then came his masterpiece, the Stratosphere Tower, 1,149 feet tall. Critics said it would fail. Too far north, too gimmicky. Stupak didn't care. The Stratosphere became an icon. Proof you could still build something impossible even when corporations owned everything. Sam Boyd took a different path. Started with bingo ships in the 1920s. Moved to Vegas. Dealt cards. Built Boyd Gaming from the ground up. The Fremont, the California, stakes in the Stardust. Boyd wasn't flashy. Just a Midwestern operator who understood gambling as math and hospitality. While mobsters got indicted and celebrities went bankrupt, Boyd built something that lasted. But Vegas was still built on violence. The Flamingo, Bugsy Siegel shot through a Beverly Hills window. 9 bullets. June 20th, 1947. The Stardust, Gus Greenbaum and his wife, throats slashed, skulls crushed in their Phoenix home. December the 3rd, 1958. The mob doesn't give retirement packages. The greatest skim, Frank Rosenthal ran the Stardust from 1974 to 1979. $7 to $15 million vanished from the count rooms. When the FBI exposed it, a car bomb nearly killed him. October 4th, 1982. He survived only because of a metal plate in his Cadillac. Tony Spilatro, beaten to death with his brother, buried in an Indiana cornfield. 1986. The outfit's final accounting. For every architect who drew blueprints, there were enforcers making sure the money flowed, and traitors got punished. Las Vegas was built on sand, but it was held together with blood. So who really built Las Vegas? Alice Morris opening the first casino in 1931. Meyer Lansky and the puppet masters who financed the expansion. Martin Stern Jr. designing the mega resort template. Kerkorian building the world's largest hotel 3 times. J. Sarno creating themed fantasies. Howard Hughes buying out the mob with corporate billions. Bob Stupak and Sam Boyd, the underdogs who built their own empires. The truth is, they all did. Las Vegas wasn't built by one vision. It was built by competing visions. Mob money and corporate money and individual hustle all colliding in the desert. The architects weren't just the men who drew blueprints. They were the investors who financed impossible dreams. The mobsters who protected their investments with violence. The innovators who saw possibilities nobody else could see. Bugsy Siegel gets the credit because he died dramatically. But the real architects, they stayed in the shadows, drawing plans, moving money, building empires one casino at a time. The Strip today, with its mega resorts and themed palaces and corporate ownership, is the culmination of 100 different visions, built over 80 years by architects whose names you'll never see in lights, but their work surrounds you. Every time you walk into a casino, you're walking through their legacy, the glittering empire, built by ghosts.